This is Societal Deconstructions, podcast number 4, My One Black Friend. Good evening. We find ourselves Bryceless again this week, so my buddy D-Wite will be joining me this evening.
Hey, how you doing?
How's everyone tonight? D-Wite and I have something in common. We're both native New Yorkers.
Our experience was a little different because Jen grew up in upstate, kind of near the Buffalo area.
In the sticks.
And I'm a city boy. I grew up in Flatbush, Brooklyn. Yeah, and
hardcore.
One thing that's funny is like we talk about the races of people we've been around. Like I told her, like the only non-colored people, like white people, I've been around were like Jewish people going to synagogues, and I didn't really see a white person until 9th grade.
Which is crazy to me because I didn't see any black people. We literally had no black people in our whole town. There wasn't a black kid in school. There wasn't a black family in town.
That's crazy.
Like, I didn't know, other than TV, like the Jeffersons.
Wow.
And the Cosbys were my black friends, man.
At least you got a good reputation of black people. As before, Bill Cosby was known for, putting shit in drinks.
True. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, how I met Jen, she used to work at a little bar in town called Revival, and I used to frequent there, help pay the light bill every night, by
he kept it running.
Drinking a lot. And I tell her this all the time. She's my favorite bartender. Just
Aww.
Very nice, very courteous, and we're just we're still buds, man. Still kicking it even after Revival closed down.
And I told him most of the time working at Revival, I worked there for 2 years, and most nights I was just as sloshed as he was.
Which is crazy. I had no idea. I thought she was just this angel, innocent person, and I realized that was a lie.
No idea. I was hammered. Oh my God, I was hammered. I don't know how I did it. But it's funny drinking when you're bartending because you're working and I guess you're sweating it off. You don't really feel it.
You're kind of moving. You
don't feel it as hardcore.
Yeah, I would do shots with Robert and Sadie all the time. And I know she was getting fucked up, but you held it off pretty well. I didn't notice.
Amazing, and then I would do my white girl dancing back to the race.
I remember that. She was definitely dancing like a white girl.
Yeah, Shannon.
You ever seen that episode of Seinfeld with Elaine Bennett dancing? Just like that.
And I'd go along the whole bar. It was like a long bar, and I would do the whole bar to walk it and talk it or some shit. Good times.
One of those, Claremont staple places, and speaking of Claremont, the episode, obviously the name, My One Black Friend. Spoiler alert, I am that one black friend. I am black, if you didn't know. I'm beautiful as well, if you're asking. And Faux show. And just being in Claremont, I moved down here when I was 15. And it's kind of almost a culture shock because growing up in New York, I used to get, teased and made fun of my black skin from other black people because light skin was in. It was a time of B2K, Little Bow Wow, Chris Brown, all the light-skinned pretty boys.
Which I find craziness. Yeah. It's just nuts.
And then I moved down to New York. I moved to Florida when I was 15 and being around, white people, non-melanin folks, they would say, I'm white because of the way I talk. But I just can't help it, because both my parents were educators. So I speak with, fluent and elegance. And that always got me mad because people don't know where I grew up. I grew up in the hood. But,
in
Brooklyn, East Flatbush, don't get it twisted.
With no white people.
No white people. It's not safe. It's not how it is now where Brooklyn's just a fucking coffee shop and a bike lane now.
And a hipster's paradise.
I was back when gang culture was big. And, just a lot of shit. And
man, if I would have went to New York back in that time, I would have been told not to go there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone there.
I lived in that neighborhood. I see Jen down the block, be like, man.
They'd be taking my purse.
They're robbing you. They're getting over on you. I'm sorry. But yeah, then moving down to Florida is just a whole different trip now. But I love Claremont.
Do you?
I love the idea of Claremont. Let me say that.
Yeah. Claremont's a weird little town. Yeah. I never intended to end up here, ever. I actually moved to Florida when I was 18. There was nothing where I lived. We had one blinking traffic light, no black people, no Spanish people, no variety of persons.
So it was just like
whatsoever.
how you were living in upstate New York.
Well, this was upstate New York.
Oh yeah.
And then there was no opportunities, no jobs, no nothing, and it was just frustrating. A lot of people would go on welfare and unemployment, and it was just kind of I didn't like the vibe. So 2 weeks after my 18th birthday, I took off to South Florida and I moved to Boca, and stayed with my aunt, which was cool. There was a lot of opportunities. I had a lot of fun. I like to say I majored in partying.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I ran into my first black folk down there.
How was your experience first communing with the Negroes?
Well, I didn't really, because I didn't really have any black friends, and we didn't seem to run in the same circles, even down there.
Oh wow.
And it was definitely like a difference. Like all of the white people would live east of Federal Highway, east of the railroad tracks, and east of Dixie Highway, and all the black people would live right along the corridor of the railroad tracks and Dixie Highway, and to about 95, and then after 95, it was all white people out west. And all the new fancy.
That's like kind of Florida in general.
But in Martin Luther King Boulevard always ran right.
Any place with Martin Luther King Boulevard, niggas live there. I could say nigga because I'm a nigga, so get off my back.
I say bitch ass nigga.
Oh man, we had some wild times. She could say because she's my girl.
I'm homie.
Yeah. But Florida's like that. Even like in Orlando, like Division Street, like even like downtown Orlando, you see the kind of like the separation because there's just downtown Orlando, there's the Amway Center, there's where Orlando City played, and there's this 55 West, there's Wealth, and then on the flip side of the coin, there's Paramore, there's you know, there's the hood, you know.
I wound up in Paramore one day by accident, and that was a little dicey.
Oh yeah,
I locked my doors and got the hell out of there.
Oh hell yeah! If I'm in the hood, I'm fucking locking my doors, man. Hey, I know I'm a black guy, and I'm supposed to, one people, one love. I get it, but you gotta be safe. Hey, stupid.
South Florida was real divided too. And I remember if we went to Miami and they told us, I remember this was like the days of like the 90s, the days of carjackings and stuff. And they would say, even if we got a flat tire, do not get off in Liberty City. Do not get off in Overtown. Like, drive with your fucking flat tire.
You're getting your shit took.
Because you're gonna get carjacked and possibly killed.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's nuts. But it definitely opened my eyes to a whole new world.
Oh yeah, same. Like, partying with white people is amazing. I'm just gonna say that out there.
We're a lot of fun.
We're a lot of fun. They're doing shots. They're doing all the stuff, all the fun shit.
You know what? One of my other I do have a couple other black friends.
One of my other I'm not the only one. I'm offended. This podcast is over.
One of my other black friends said that if you have that I'm rich because I have tissues and paper towels.
That's facts. Like, niggas don't be fucking with the paper towels like that. You just got some tissue, man. Just take this shit up.
And he'd come over and blow his nose and use my whole box of tissues. And I'd be like, dude, you know.
Yeah, he had to get the full experience because he's going home to a tissueless house. He's just got to get it out of the system.
And then I remember you told me the black folks still don't buy boxed foods, like box like noodle side dishes or box like macaroni and cheese or whatever.
Never had rice and roni in my life.
We make that shit from scratch.
Yeah, what the fuck is rice and roni?
Now, I did...
I heard it's the San Francisco treat.
Oh, yeah. I wonder why is it the San Francisco treat?
I heard that's just like bullshit. Don't eat that shit in San Francisco.
Yeah.
They just said that.
Yeah. It's not really very good anyway.
It's not. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a little hamburger helper.
Ick.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit's gross too.
I mean, box food in general is nasty. It's nasty. Like, growing up, like Black Thanksgiving.
Oh, I know, you had soul food.
So you had the soulful mac and cheese. If someone pulls up a fucking box of mac and cheese at a fucking Thanksgiving or
that's terrible.
Excommunication from the fucking church. Get the fuck out of here. It's terrible.
Well, see, I had an issue with that because Thanksgiving, like times like that, were always completely homemade. And then when I got married, I'd go over to my in-laws' house, and they would have for Thanksgiving. They would have a turkey, but it wasn't seasoned. It was bland and dry. And then the stuffing would be boxed. The mashed potatoes would be boxed. The gravy would be out of a jar. The vegetables were frozen out of a bag. I almost lost my shit.
Oh,
like, I didn't know what to do. I just sat there and shut my fucking mouth because anything that came out of there was not going to be good.
The past couple of Thanksgiving I was spending with my good friend Justin, who was a white male, and I go to his house, his parents' house, and it's different. Like, the food's not bad, but it's just... It doesn't
even have a different smell.
It doesn't hit. Exactly. It's not the same smell when my mom's whipping up. My mom's a great cook, though.
My mom is, too. My mom always made a great Thanksgiving. We always had Thanksgiving in our house when I was a kid. And it always depended on... It seemed like Thanksgiving revolved around the fact that if my great-grandparents were going to be able to make it. Because it was... If the weather was too bad and it was snowing, because they lived like an hour away... They wouldn't be able to drive. Yeah. So we'd sit there all on pins and needles waiting to hear from them to see if they were going to be able to make it. In the years they could come, it was so great.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that cute?
That's cute.
Yep. That's how I remember my Thanksgivings as a kid.
That's sweet.
And then my grandma died and then my grandpa hung himself.
Wow, then that got incredibly dark.
But they were together for like 100 years. So I think after she died and then like 6 months later he did that. So I think that's at least one of those explainable suicides.
Yeah, like... Usually when like a spouse dies and they've been together for so long, the spouse dies like within a year. Because like I remember my father's father, my grandfather, he passed away, and like not even a year later, my grandmother.
And a lot of them too will get sick. Like I mean he made it happen himself, but a lot of them will get an illness and
it's that kind of like emotional, spiritual connection you have with a person. For being so long, like you've lived with someone for the majority of your life, and and you get to a point where you have to live without them again. It's hard.
Yeah, that'd be scary. But
moral of the story: don't get married.
Were you guys up in Brooklyn when you? Let's talk about when you lived in New York and when I lived in New York. Were you guys? Did you find that were you racist against whites?
I'm gonna tell you, something my brother would say, my older brother. He said, black people are the most racist people because they hate themselves and they hate others. And which is kind of true. And it's sad to say.
That is sad to say.
Yeah, because it's funny when you say about black people being racist. One of the first things when my mother told me when I moved down here, she said, hey, pretty much, this is not verbatim, but pretty much in a nutshell, don't bring home no white girls, which is hilarious. I think that kind of gave me the want for white women, because it's like almost. Do
you like white women?
I love them.
Do you like black women though too?
I love black women too. The only girls I dated were black women. But I fucked some white coochie. I had some white pussy in my diet.
Oh lordy. Oh goodness.
And don't let her fool you. She's been a cream in someone's coffee. Just saying that, and that's all I'll say.
Oh lordy. Yeah, my grandfather would probably roll over in his grave if he knew that.
I know he's looking down and just shaking his head.
Oh God. I've thought of him a few times. Said, oh, sorry.
But during the act?
Sorry, no. Just like some abstract weird time, and I'd be like, sorry, Gramps. But times have changed. Times have changed a bit. But I did grow up that way. A lot of people in my area were racist, and I think it was just because of not knowing any. That's how they grew up.
Because we talked about like just not being around.
They didn't have
people,
anything to.
Yeah, you kind of just hear stories of people's bad experiences or what you see on TV, and that kind of shapes your view of the people. But like I've always been.
My grandfather though, he didn't like anybody.
Well, at least he's an equal opportunist. Just say
he had a sign on his porch. He had Dobermans and he had guns, and he was German, and he had a sign on his porch that said no N-word, no spics, no Jews, no. I think wetbacks he had in there. I'm not sure what else. Or come across this porch or you'll be shot on sight.
Was that a handmade sign, or did he like go down to Sign Depot and get that?
I don't think they sold him at Sign Depot.
Yeah, I'd hope not.
Plus, where I lived, we didn't have Sign Depot.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds like a homemade kind of deal. I don't think
It was.
You're going to Home Depot and they got that sign ready made.
I think it was like handwritten.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I didn't know what as a kid. What the fuck do you make of that shit as a kid? I didn't know what to make of that sign. You know, my grandpa scared me. He'd bring it. You know, if we acted out, he never did it to me, but he got my older cousin and my uncle and aunt with the belt. So I stayed the fuck away from him. But I mean, what do you make of a sign like that as like a kid? I mean, how old was I? I think when I first read that and understood what it said. Basically, maybe 7, 8.
I'm a firm believer that no one's born racist. Because if you look at children, and if they're playing with someone, they're gonna play with them. It's not until it's
taught.
They're given that rhetoric of racism, like you don't mingle with them, and it's a shame. It's a shame, honestly.
Well, it really is, because I mean, the way I see it is we're all one color under our skin. We're all the same under our skin color. We're all the same. We're just human beings. We're animals.
There's so many things that connect us and make us the same, and we choose to focus on the few things that that separate us, racism is a construct, created by people to establish and maintain power. And if you divide and conquer. And they even with blacks in the Jim Crow, like.
Is there any topic you guys want to see us cover on societal deconstruction? Send us your suggestions and we'll gladly take them into consideration. Remember to think outside of society.
And we're back from our brief commercial break. This section of the podcast, we're going to do a little Q&A. A little section I like to call Black and White Stereotypes. Jen is going to take some time to ask me some stereotypical questions, see if they're true, and I'll do the vice versa. So take it off, Jen.
All right. Well, there's a rumor going around that black men like white women.
All right, I'm here to say that it's 100% true. And a funny story, when I moved to Florida, this is not verbatim, but more or less words my mom told me, don't bring home any white women. And, like, thinking back, they kind of gave me,
it's like telling you what not to do.
Yeah, what not to do. Right. But, like, I'm very, like, don't tell me what to do. And
you do that
I love me some white women. They're fun. They're fun.
We are.
Yeah, like to fucking get drunk, like to whip the titties out, and I'm here. I'm here for all the good times, honestly.
Oh, goodness. Well, next topic is water.
Water.
Either black people can't swim, don't know how to swim, don't like to swim, or don't like water. Please clarify this for us.
I would say I don't swim, but I say that's more of a me growing up in the city kind of thing, because it wasn't like we didn't have a pool in the backyard, and we really didn't live next to a community pool. And actually, ironically, my father's a really great swimmer. And I remember he tried to teach me how to swim. He threw me in the middle of the pool when I was like 10 years old. And I'm like, I'm not fucking with swimming. So,
were you going to just go jump in the Hudson River and just take a swim?
Nah.
Was that near you, the Hudson River?
Nah, that's a little out. The Hudson River dirty as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
there's dead bodies.
Yeah, I'm swimming like, hypothetical needles and shit.
Oh, yuck.
Nah.
Gross.
Like, if I'm like stranded at sea because of like some airplane crash, like I'm dying. Like if I get caught like in a current, I'm just gonna let it go, man. I will die in a watery grave before I learn how to swim.
Man, I love the water. All right.
We forgot the story about when we were hanging out and we jumped off the bridge.
You didn't jump off the bridge.
It's not we. I didn't do that shit because that is 100% white people shit. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Well, me and two of our other friends, and the one guy is he's a weird mix.
Yeah, he's like Australian.
Ecuadorian and Australian. When do you ever find that?
I don't know.
He's a weird dude too.
Strange man. Shout out to He who shall not be named.
And then the girl, she was just white.
Yeah.
And then me, and we were so hammered. We jumped off the bridge, and Dwight was just looking out.
Yeah.
He was the
all the white people are jumping on bridges. My black ass is not.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. But God, we were so hammered. As soon as we hit that water, whew, we sobered right back up. It was great. That was a lot of fun.
If I would have hit that one, I would have drowned. I'm sorry. No thanks.
For the alligator, one rogue alligator.
Oh, exactly. Would have got me some dark meat today.
Then there's 2 kids sitting under the bridge doing God only knows what to pull us up onto the embankment.
And guess what? They were white too.
They what?
They were white too.
Yeah. Just hanging out under the bridge. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if they were homeless. They say homeless people live under the bridge, right?
They didn't look homeless. They just look like just 2 teens.
They look like they're smoking pot or something.
Smoking pot, yeah. Doing whatever. Probably fucking maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you good at basketball?
Yes. Yeah, that's a black people thing, but...
How tall are you?
I'm about like 6'2", 6'3" on a good day. I grew up playing basketball, love basketball. We grew up probably like walking distance from the YMCA, and there was a thing called Junior Knicks. And I used to play in those. Like I played my freshman year before I moved down to Florida. So yeah, I'm a big basketball fan and lover. But that's because New York is a big basketball thing. It's like you have outdoor parks where you play. We actually had a basketball hoop in my yard, and I'm telling you, I was Michael Jordan on that basketball hoop. Like kids would come over, like from the neighborhood, and I'd win every game. Like I was the man. I was the man, and I'm not just saying that because I'm an ex-athlete and I'm retired now.
Oh, basketball is probably my worst sport. I'm terrible at it, and the only time I ever really played it was in gym class, and I hated it. We had to do each sport like for a couple weeks.
Like when I went to school at East Ridge in Claremont, we'd have like weightlifting because I was on the football team, and we'd have the weightlifting class. I would skip that class to go play basketball. Like I got in school suspension for skipping weightlifting and playing ball.
Weightlifting sounds really boring now.
Oh yeah, like
sounds brutal, awful.
Oh yeah, like
it's like going to the gym. I hate the gym.
Yeah, that's why
But I'm not good at basketball. I'm just terrible at it. And when we had that in gym class, I can't dribble. I can't do 2 things at once. So I couldn't dribble and walk. Or dribble and run. I could not do it. And I'm short.
Stories about me. Like, I used to hoop. I used to ball, man.
Oh, I'm short too. So yeah, I wasn't good at that. But the one thing that I did excel in at basketball was the Sega Genesis. This is in the 90s. It was a little black Sega.
Oh yeah, I remember the Sega.
Malone. Who's a three-pointer? Stockton.
Oh, you was playing NBA Jam, weren't you?
Yeah, and I was always Stockton, making those 3-point shots. We kicked ass, man.
Hell yeah.
It was so fun.
I was the man fucking on the Dreamcast with the first 2K NBA lives. Like I'm a basketball fan. I'm a basketball nerd. Like I'm into like stats too, and just always keeping abreasted on, of course, my New York Knicks. We're 5th seed right now in the East. We're doing it, man.
I don't even know what he's talking about. I think it's basketball. Well, another stereotype that I've heard rumors of, black men have big penises.
Oh, that's one good stereotype, ain't it? I'll tell you, it's kind of hard to live up to that. I'm not gonna say like I have a decent sized dick. It's not nothing to write home about, I guess. But like I've never gotten any complaints. Let's just keep that clear,
Well,
I'm here. If you're here for a good time, not a long time, I got
you. Oh goodness. Well, I had an encounter with one of those, and I have to say I expected more.
See, it sounds good in its premise, Every girl think you have this big fucking baseball bat, but if you come, it's an impossible fucking goal to make because you watch porn, motherfuckers got baby arms, you got fucking dicks the size of my forearm.
The dude was 6'5". I was like, the anticipation was high.
You think, it's kind of tall, but hey, you gave it all you got.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
If you want a good time. You're not guaranteed a long time, you holler at me.
Oh, my face is red. All right, you're up.
Okay. Now we're going to do a few white stereotypes. And let's see, Jen. First one. I hear white people don't season their food. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's crazy town. Well, some of them don't. Like my in-laws, they didn't season their turkey at all. I season my food.
Yeah, I had your food a few times.
I'm a good cook, right?
Yeah, except for that one time I made jerk chicken. That was not jerk chicken.
That wasn't jerk chicken. What was that? And why did it get called jerk chicken?
She made some chicken. She's like, "Oh, I made some jerk chicken." I'm just off the look of it.
First of all, you don't even know the story.
Oh, tell the story. Go ahead.
Well, I don't remember it that well. But I didn't make it. I didn't make the jerk chicken. I'm gonna go with lies here, because the jerk chicken, you gotta understand, like, I grew up in a West Indian household. Like, I make jerk chicken sauce from scratch. No. The guy I was with was making chicken, and I came up to him and said, "Oh, what do you make, a jerk chicken?" And he's like, "That's so racist."
Oh yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Right, you're right.
But I don't even think I said jerk chicken. I think I just said, what kind of chicken are you making? He's like, "I'm not making jerk chicken." He just made a big fucking deal out of it.
He's projecting on you,
Yeah.
Okay, next stereotype we're going to address is about the, and we kind of touched on this earlier, back in your revival days. You used to do the
white girl dancing.
White girl dancing. The dancing, the rhythm thing. Do you have any?
No.
Yeah, I couldn't
Not
answer
whatsoever.
that. No, I've seen her dance.
Not even remotely close.
Yeah, she's...
Terrible.
Yeah.
Elaine from Seinfeld.
Yeah, she's...
Awful.
She's no... remember Save the Last Dance? I forget her name. The white girl who danced with the black guy. That movie. Whoever knows about that, you got the reference. And, okay, moving along. There's a hot debate going out about bathroom etiquette, and more specifically, the use of washing cloths and washing your legs. Do you wash your legs?
Yes.
Oh, good, because Taylor Swift said this in an interview, like, on Ellen, like, years ago, that she doesn't wash her legs, and that's crazy to me.
She's a dirty girl.
Exactly. What do you expect, the fucking dirt to just wash off? You need to scrape off the dead skin cells, all the fucking dirt and dust and shit.
You wash the rest of your body. Why wouldn't you wash your legs?
Yeah, like that's like 50% of your body. Why wouldn't you wash your legs? It's gross.
Disgusting.
Yeah, and you're a kind of poof.
Yeah, I use the puff.
I'm not gonna lie, there might be some truth to like washcloth being black, because like I grew up with washcloth, but I've graduated to the poof.
Poops are handy.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, just a squirt of the body wash and
get it extra clean. You get the little lights, the little extra scrubby side to get,
Not showers aren't my most favorite thing in the whole wide world, so I just like to get mine over with.
Ooh.
So I like.
But I like a good shower.
Puff just gets.
I like a good shower.
Does the job. Does the job good.
Yeah.
I like a shower. I just talk myself in there. Once I'm in there, I like it, but I gotta talk.
Yeah. I do enjoy a nice shower. All right. Last stereotype. White girl wasted. I can almost speak about that because I definitely have been white girl wasted.
Mm-hmm. We've been white girl wasted together.
Yeah. That one day, like this epic day that we had, me and Jen. We started off at the Claremont Bowling Alley.
At what time in the morning? Way too early to be bowling.
Way too early to be bowling or drinking alcoholic beverages.
Doing Jello shots.
Ooh. Yeah, and then we went to Graffiti Junction. No, first we went to the bank. That whole day is like a mishmash. Sorry.
I don't even remember half of it.
You're not going to get a concise, story out of me on that day.
Yeah, not a consistent story out of the two of us.
Yeah. But, yeah.
The bank? I don't remember going to the bank.
I love hanging out with white women. And, like, not even on just to fuck. Just to hang out. Because they're fun. They get drunk. They want to turn up. And like I said, the titties come out. And I'm always here for some titties. And
then we want to play like Cardi B on the jukebox at the bowling alley at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Ratchet. I love it.
Yeah, love it. Ratchet. I like the way. Turn down for what?
Turn down for nothing. All right, that concludes the question and answer portion of our little interview. A little black and white stereotypes.
Black and white stereotypes. Yeah. I think we live up to them on both sides. What do you think?
Sadly, just the big peepees I don't fucking follow through with, but everything else is spot on.
Well, true. Yeah, that's questionable. Yeah. That's questionable.
I have above average, okay? Above average. I'm just not unrealistic. I don't have a fucking Louisville slugger in my pants.
All right. in conclusion tonight, people, we are wrapping up this podcast, but we realize we have a lot more ground to cover. So this will probably be part 1. We'll do another part 2 here soon with my friend D-Wite. We've had a great time tonight. Let me ask you a question, D-Wite.
Axe away.
Do you say axe or do you say ask?
Ask? I might say axe, maybe like here and there.
Why?
I don't know. It's weird.
Is it like a cultural, societal type thing, you think? Like to blend in with your fellow people?
It's weird because, like, back to the point, the whitest man ever, the whitest black man ever, because of how I talk. It's like I don't pick up like accents like that. Like, I grew up in a West Indian household. My parents have been here fucking 30, 40 years, and they still have strong like Guyanese accents. I live with my cousins and all that. Never picked up the accent. Like, I really don't even sound like a New Yorker, honestly. Or a Floridian. I kind of have that regional dialect, I got that reporter voice.
Me too, kind of, don't you think?
Yeah.
Could you tell where I'm from?
Not really.
Yeah.
No.
Let's blend.
Yeah. But, like, does New York, upstate New York, have, like, the city fucking accent?
Buffalo has, like, almost like a Midwestern accent. Like, they say, like, house and, there's a few things. There's definitely, it's almost like a nasally kind of accent.
Wow.
Probably because you're freezing to death. Your nose gets clogged.
Yeah, true. From the cold.
Yeah.
Only from the cold.
Well, guys, stay tuned for part 2 of My One Black Friend, and we'll see you later.
Wait, is there one thing you want to ask me? It's not the penis thing again.
Yeah. What is it like being black in Claremont?
Being black in Claremont, like being in Claremont, like I always say, there's always, this kind of hometown camaraderie, like if you're from Claremont, you're from Claremont, and people fuck with you. Like, I've been here since I was 15. I'm about to be 34, so that's 15 plus years.
He's getting old.
Very, yes. And like anytime I go out, like I always get love. Like I'm always like the man almost.
He is. Everybody loves D-Wite.
Yeah. And like, do I deal with racism? It's here and there. It's subtle. And I know, like, and just, just being like introspective, like looking on the outside, like I'm a 6'3" large black man. So like to like combat anyone feeling any type of way or having like preconceived notions, I speak softly. I'm very gregarious, like kind of like inviting. So
you get along with everybody.
Yeah, I do. Like
everybody of every race.
Yeah.
But I think like people gravitate towards you and they don't see you as, even people that would maybe be racist aren't around you because you're not hood. I think that has a lot to do with how
yeah, that does, like how I'm received. Yeah, definitely, most definitely. Yeah, because I've got the comments like, oh yeah, you speak well, and that always like comes off as like, you don't sound like a nigga.
Basically, that's exactly what they're saying.
It's kind of racist, but I'm like, well, whatever. But people like kind of put black in a box. Like there's only one type of black. You're from the hood. You sell dope. You fucking do this, that, gold and shit. But like, there's a wide spectrum of being black. There's like any type of human being. Like there's no set type of person.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you could be black, you could be nerdy, you could be hood, you could be into whatever.
Because where I come from, there's a lot of white people that you could call hillbillies, white trash.
Yeah.
Just like, scummy people that don't want to work. They, they have a bunch of kids. They live in a trailer. Yeah. They're,
That's one thing I hate.
Not educated.
People equate blackness to poverty, government assistance and all that shit. I've never been on that shit. Never had government assistance. Never been on never lived in Section 8 housing. None of that shit. I was privileged to have 2 parents who worked their ass off. We grew up kind of middle class. Like, we didn't lack for nothing. Our lights were never off. Like, we were good growing up, and I'm still good. And that's being black, It's not being poor. Like, you could have substance. You could, have, assets.
But it just goes back to, it's not the color of our skin. We're all the same under the color of our skin. We're humans. We're one animal. We're one species.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do we have to put everybody in a box?
The powers that be, man.
They're the ones that start all the race crap.
Yeah, it's classism, bro. It's the 1% and the rest of the 99. That's what they don't get, because racism is a construct to keep us separated and not, look up and be like, hey, all the people with money are making all the rules and having all the money, and we live like shit. Maybe we should do something about it. That's why all these classism is in place, racism in place, these constructs to keep us down.
Because, the regular person like me, I'm just a regular white chick. I grew up with a slightly racist family, but moved away from that and got away from that and was always open-minded and never really thought that way after I left. And, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about race. Like, I want equal opportunity for everybody.
Yeah, same.
And I was telling Dwight earlier, like, more people need to, one thing that helps stop that stigma and that narrow-mindedness is traveling. Like,
get a passport and travel.
Yeah, when I started traveling,
the world is more than your hometown.
It opens
more
up your
than
mind.
America.
You become interested in other cultures, and you find them interesting, and you want to go and discover new things like that. And it doesn't. They're not people that should be kept down in some way. It just, you want to see them exceed. Actually.
This is a good conversation. I'm looking forward to part 2.
It is a good conversation, definitely.
I definitely got some more stories living in, Lake County, Claremont as a black man. Just funny stories.
I got a couple stories too. So you want to wrap it up, D-Wite?
All right. This is Dwight and Jen.
Boat.
AKA Brody and Boat. On the, what's his name again? Sorry.
Societal Deconstruction. Sometimes I can't say it.
Yeah, Societal Deconstructions. If you're looking forward to the part 2, it's coming soon.
And stay tuned for the rest of our podcasts, or you can always rewind and watch podcast 1, 2, or 3. We appreciate feedback. Let us know what you think. Thanks, y'all, and have a good night.
Good night.